Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Andres TCG with a new deck profile. Today we have Greg. Greg got first place at the Dragons Ball Championship. Greg, what were you playing today?
I had my version of a mid-range purple steel.
Purple Steel. Why did you choose to play this combination?
I think mainly is I like the purple card draw, the strength of the characters for the bounce package, and I really like steel for targeted removal.
Okay.
I mean, especially in certain matchups. I built this deck to be able to play well into red purple.
Red purple does you had as much of, I guess.
Yeah, the matchup's tough. Like red just has a lot of things to get rid of smaller minions. A lot of people are on Sisus, and a lot of people are on Tremaine and Be Prepared and things like that. So I kind of focused it around being able to get card advantage back, to be able to draw things and pull, you know, like if a Diablo gets knocked off the board or a Rabbit or something of that nature, it's like, hey, yeah, I'm not losing cards in my hand and then I'm stumped. This deck has a pretty good,
A lot of gas.
a lot of ways to, like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, you're gonna pay for it, and I'm gonna fight back. So
All right. Awesome. All right, let's see really quick what you on to. All right.
yeah. All right, so I have kind of I would say like a weird curve out or like weird ratios. A lot of people like to see 4 of cards for consistency. So I start with 2 Diablos.
Okay.
I don't always play the card, but I would say this is more of like a toolbox deck where I like to pull certain things at certain times.
Okay.
3 Chernobog's followers just for it's a good turn 1 play. It doesn't always hold up in the Steel Song, but it's very useful for either using it for a bounce target or drawing a card off a quest. Another very big part of this deck is the Robin Hood package. So I play the 1-drop Robin Hood for it's turn 3. It can really sway games into the aggro matchups, and it can be a good, useful early way to sing songs, which I'll get to later.
True.
3 Calhouns.
Okay.
Calhoun I've found is like super good into the Steel Song matchup, which is one of the hardest. If I'm on the draw Steel Song, it can be very hard to really, like the turn 1 Cindy.
Oh, I've seen this. They always have it. That's crazy. They always have Cinderella.
It's like, and so my stepson plays a lot of Steel Song, and it's really important for me to either not go with a turn 1 or be willing to accept that, like, I'm gonna lose a character, so I'll try to play Diablo. But Calhoun on that turn 2 can eat up a lot of that damage because they can't set up the Strength of a Raging Fire to deal enough damage. So Calhoun is basically like, okay, put the damage down, but whatever you're turning, I'm gonna swing back and I'm gonna, you know, we'll try to level the board.
Okay.
4 Snakes. It's just
Bounce power.
get the bounce power, get the card draw, get the wounded minions off the board, and cycle them back up. 4 Smee, because I mean he's just one of the best.
Yeah, it's a beater. I'm pretty sure like most of this deck struggle against locations, and this is one of the so turns you pretty much can clear any location
Exactly.
with Smee and maybe Cahoon. That's actually pretty good.
So 3s, I like 2 Lawrence. Again, I tried to focus this to have higher statting so that I'm not falling victim to the 2 and under Sisu removal stuff like that you see a lot in red blue and red purple. Lawrence just comes down. He can be a very effective body. He pairs well with the Bell, which I'll show you later. He can take some damage and then you can chunk it back over.
Okay.
Obviously 4 Foxes because like
One
it's
of the best cards.
just one of the best cards. Deals with locations, deals with big bodies, bounces stuff back. Rounding out the 3 slot is 3 Pete's. I've teched in things like 4 Strength of Raging Fire and 4 Pete's, but I've kind of opted for the 2 libraries and gone 3 Pete's just because, I mean, with the bounce package, you can recur your Pete's.
Yes, you can recycle them. Yep.
You don't need 4.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the Crabs. The crab is just a menace for big bodies on the board. especially like a turn 3 with like Calhoun. You're hitting daisies. Diablo turns it into a weapon. So moving to the 4 slot, I only like 2
Ooh,
genies.
2 genies. Okay.
I think part of it is like I just don't like playing against this card. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like, it's a great card. I found, especially in the Steel Song matchup, it becomes a target for removal. So I'm more or less using it to play it out, to bait you to get rid of that resource. And then I'm like, all right, well, then I'm going to move other things into position that you may not have the reach to hit.
Okay.
3 rabbits. I like to see 4, but I find that this deck, just the versatility, like the well-roundedness of the card draw and everything, it seems to work well. So 3 rabbits is good for me.
Okay.
Definitely 4
For
Merlin goats.
finisher right there.
It's
insane.
yeah. If you need to wrap up a game or claw back lore and put pressure on that card, it's
That's the
just,
one, yep.
you don't get caught without it. So you got 2 bells.
Wow, 2 bells. That's actually, how this card did for you on the tournament?
It's a really nice tool. I strayed away from the Elsa because, like I said, I did tune this deck to play against a lot of the red purple and the red blue. So like that's not going away from a Sisu. It's not. It's very hard to ice block it to get it in range with other things.
Yeah.
And being able to clear damage off of, like, say, a Lawrence or a Genie.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, synergy is really good with the Lawrence. Usually people have to use at least 2 cards to get rid of one.
Yeah,
and
or
if it
even-
survives, you have the belt. You got it. Yeah.
The just anything like a Smee, if your turn 3, 4 and he's got the 2 on him, and then you come down on 5 with the bell, moving that 2 damage over to something small is
That's pretty good. Yeah.
is really handy. Rounding out the 5 spot, we'll put the
The shiny.
cool one in front. So I go 3 Robin Hoods. Some people might like to see 4. I like the 3 because, like, the top slot is the Tinkerbell for me,
Okay.
which I just find really useful for finishing power, putting that 1 damage on certain things, even later in the game, like aggro matchups. The Tinkerbell is just not a nice sight.
It's a menace.
So,
Okay. So this is your characters, right?
yeah, this
That's it
is
for
all the
character?
characters.
Okay.
So this is more of like my utility toolbox. I like 2 libraries. Nothing fancy. I tend to ink this card a lot, but if I know that I'm in a heavy removal matchup, I'll try to position it with like Chernobyls, Diablos, Rabbits, so that I'm just getting a lot of card draw, trying to find better answers for my opponent's board.
Okay.
We got 3 Zeus.
Zeus. There's a shark killer right there.
Yeah, that's Shark, Sisu, Genie.
Genie, yes.
Even
And you can sing it too. Like you have the rabbits, you have a lot of 4, so it never's like you have. It's really and probably really hard to that you have to hard cast it, right? You probably sing it a lot.
It's
Okay,
it's
that's
rare,
like
yeah.
rare.
You try to either play like the Genie, the Merlin, or the Goat, or the Rabbit, I should say. But the Rabbit and the Goat, like I'll try to get that down on 4 and then have a big answer for 5 or 6.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
3 Strength of a Raging Fires. Like I said, I'll go. Sometimes I'll drop the libraries depending on what I'm looking at to play 4 of the Strength and 4 of the Peat. Because sometimes I've tested it. You could go either way. If you don't like the locations, I think it's a very viable option to just cut the library.
Okay.
But,
So it's not like it's just like a.
it's just something that I kind of like. I like to see it in certain games. And then I go 3 friends on the other
Ooh,
side.
3 friends. Okay.
So it's kind of
Playing 3, 3, and 3. Okay.
like different ratios to what most people are used to, but I've just found that this particular mix is most functional for how I like to play, which is I get lucky a lot of the time and I play good some of the time, and
That's really interesting. Playing 3, 3, 3. I don't think it's a bad. Like you make room to play stuff like the Robin Hood,
Right.
And the Bell. That's actually pretty good. Is anything you would like to change after winning the tournament? Anything that didn't work for you, or anything you would like to try in the future? You say maybe the locations.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For this particular deck, it feels pretty good now. It does struggle with some matchups. Steel Song is very challenging. You have to like really see the cards you need and be able to stop your opponent from establishing their board and getting too far ahead. And having answers like things that can crash into daisies and keeping them off Rapunzels is very rough. Red Blue, you do want to play aggressive because then that puts a lot of pressure on them to be able to, you know, either claw back with the shark or just wipe your board out. So it's important to get like your card draw engines going, keep things in hand, and then being able to like protect yourself from Tremaines and things like that. Red Purple, it's really, I think a lot of the game is being able to go in the play, but this deck does have ways of fighting back on the draw and then being able to like 2-0 sometimes in the matchups.
Okay.
It's fun into like even Green Steel.
The discard version?
It's hard. It's hard if they get that Diablo down early, but if your turn 3 come down, get rid of their Diablo, scoot things off the board, you can fairly quickly turn the game back around. So like it's like a toolbox deck, and I really think that like the ratios I have now, sure,
Yeah,
anybody could change them. You could drop the Robin Hood, but it's just the card that I like to play. So yeah, there it is.
Well, thank you very much and congratulations again for winning. Any shout outs before we finish?
Yeah, shout out Jake here at the Garden State TCG. Shout out Tony for having us at the Dragon's Vault. Shout out you for being like, well, you know, the fierce competitor you are. You know,
Thank you.
No, looking up, and yeah, I appreciate the focus.
All right, thank you very much for your deck profile. Congratulations, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.